big fat file, by the way, and I came across this map. This map is called the Technate Map of America. It's their version of a new North American Union. Okay, and you're like, well, who Technate? What's that? The technocracy, and we go down deep on this. You're like, who's the Technate? Who did this map? Well, it's a group of technology experts that began a movement uh, after the Great Depression, during the Great Depression in the 30s, and they were gaining great momentum. And their premise was basically this: the politicians and the governments have proven that they are incapable of bringing peace and security to the planet, right? And to stop all the horrible atrocities. And so it's up to the technology experts to come in and build this new global system, right? Hence what we call today technocracy. It has not gone away. And basically, what you have going on literally right now around the world is two competing maps of how the planet will be split up. The Bible's the only one that says when the dust settles, whoever maps wins the game is going to end up with 10. Go figure. Okay. Now, this is their map. So their map for a new North American Union, purposes of peace and safety and control, you got the United States, of course, and you got Canada, Mexico. Well, that's the same thing as Club of Rome. You got Greenland, but notice on this map, it goes further south. So now you're going like, okay, what's this got to do with Trump? Everything, folks. Everything. Pay attention. United States. Is there any talk of Canada merging with the U.S.?
Well, just the other day, did you hear the guy from what state was it? I think it's Michigan said they want to be a part of the part of Canada, and Canadians are saying they want to be part of the U.S. Very fascinating.
Right. So there's actual talk and meetings right now with the White House with portions of Canada merging with the U.S. It's the unthinkable.
So let me
it's
ask
happening in the news.
Let me ask you this, because it's very fascinating, because when you look at the map, both maps, you have Greenland on there. Oh, so I'm pretty sure I know where you're going with that part that's in the south, too. We're going to get there in a minute. But it's really interesting because what you have is all of these people in Europe that are contesting against Trump. So, in a sense, this is the plan, and there's theater out there to appear that you have two different sides. Is that what?
Yeah, exactly. It's the only difference between the Club of Rome map that split the world up into 10 regions is this one region, the technocracy movement, is expanded it just a little bit further south. That's it. But it's still a combining of a new North American Union. Now, notice Greenland. Why is there such fervor to get Greenland? Because it's part of the map. Let's keep going. Not only Mexico, but what's down here? This is called Panama. Sound familiar? What's happened in the second term? Panama. Then here's the unthinkable that just happened, and it's not over. What's over here? It ends on Venezuela. Venezuela is the southernmost part of the new North American Union.
So this just, it's kind of a mind blower. So this is the Technate map from, what would you say, 1930s?
1940, and they were gaining momentum, and they were basically an isolationist movement. Call it again Monroe Doctrine, call it American Experiment, whatever you want. They believe science and technology were the ones who could build a utopia, a new North American Union, and this is their map. It created a hiccup and burp because what happened was Pearl Harbor pulled America. Before Pearl Harbor, America says, we went through World War I, man. We don't want to do another one. We'll supply you all the goods you want, but we ain't going to be part of it. Pearl Harbor pulled us in, and that's a whole other topic. And then they began to lose influence, but they never went away. They never went away. Okay? And again, it's the what? It's the technocracy map. The technology gurus, the technology experts, this is their version of a new North America, one of the 10 regions. Now, let me finish this and then we'll go into how's that tying with Trump, other than just a quinky-dink. He's going after every single country on this map. You mentioned Venezuela. Notice another thing. What's this? That's the Caribbean, which includes what?
Cuba.
Cuba. Is that in the news? Yes. Trump just launched a new set of tariffs against Cuba, against anybody who is supplying Cuba with oil. Cuba's over. I'm not a prophet nor the son thereof, but folks, the unthinkable is going to happen because it's on the map. Once you see the map, you know where it's all headed. But here's my point. You go, well, okay, I get it. It's a huge coinkydink. 100% of the countries on this map is what Trump is adamantly going for. I get you. And then the point is, it's one of the 10 horn kingdom. I give you that. But the other thing is, well, how does that directly tie with Trump? Well, I think the map itself is pretty powerful evidence of smoking gun. I'll give you another one. This is wild, and this is not a conspiracy theory. The of the technate that started in the 30s, one of the big leaders was a guy named Joshua Haldeman. And Joshua Haldeman was one of the leaders of the technate in Canada. He eventually moves to South Africa. He and his wife have a daughter. They named her May. May gets married, and she has a son. His name is Elon. Elon Musk is the grandson of the big leaders of the technate map, the technocracy movement. And who is not only himself the richest man in the world, technology genius, which is the whole idea of this. Technology is going to save the day, not the government, not politicians. But who's showing up with Trump? And it's not just him. Pastor Tom, we outline, the first term, Trump was surrounded by the swamp, and I still think he is. Second term, both on sides of the aisle, by the way. Okay, but the second term, even people who formerly hated his guts, because Musk was not a fan originally of Trump. But all of a sudden, and we catalog at least 10 of them, 10 technology mogulists, okay, billionaire elites, technology experts are completely surrounding Trump now. And not just individual. We share photographs, video clips. They're all meeting together with Trump in the White House. So this second term, he's surrounded by these technology billionaire elites, including Musk. And so it just so happens it's the technology guys, their version, that is being followed. I think that's pretty important. And I will just say this, another lesser to me smoking gun, but it's still important, is if you, and this sounds weird, but check out the math on this. Trump's family has had a history in technology to the tune of direct ties with probably one of the most technology savvy guys in history. His name was Nikola Tesla. And Tesla was way above his time. He developed wireless technology at the turn of the last century, before we're just now messing with it, right? He was doing electricity, free electricity. You can just put a pole in the ground and you get electricity out of it. I mean, he was so ahead of his time. And then he was also, the U.S. government began to consider him a threat because he was developing what they thought was a death ray. They could literally go, and zap a whole other country across the pond. And Tesla was originally working in the United States and getting funding for all of his projects and stuff of that nature. Well, they didn't want to fund him anymore. So he's like, I don't care. I want to move forward with my experiments. So he starts communicating and with other governments around the world. And so then he became a threat to the U.S. And then he mysteriously is found dead in his apartment where he lived. They go in to get his records. And still to this day, there's missing records of Elon Musk, or excuse me, of Nikola Tesla. There's missing records of that, and of his files. But guess who they called in to go check out the files of Nikola Tesla right after he was found dead? The guy's name was John Trump. That is the uncle of Donald Trump. No joke.
This is wild.
You couldn't make it up, man. If you tried. It sounds like a CSI episode. It's crazy, man. But this is what's going on. So here's my point. This map, the technocracy map, under the premise that the technology experts are the ones who are going to bring peace and safety to the planet and a new North America, are completely surrounding Trump right now, billionaire elites, and they have an agenda. And again, I'm not saying Trump gets up every day and says, yep, I'm going to build this new North America to be one of the 10 regions for the Antichrist. I'm not saying that, folks. I'm just saying it's happening. And once you see the map, you can see where we're headed next. There's no way this is by chance. But here's the point. It has everything to do with Revelation 17. So why can't we talk about it?
This